bro.
You talk so quiet and then you spike, bro.
It's because I start shouting.
You gotta go with like a foot.
You saying I need to grow a foot? I'm a short king and I'm proud, alright?
So I'm just gonna get into it. Welcome back to Coasting the Mediaverse. I'm Brian.
And I'm Michael.
What's going on, dude? How we doing?
We're doing pretty good today. We had a great time talking to y'all about video games. One of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, we did video games, we did TV, and we did film. And now today, what are we gonna do today, Michael?
I think today we're talking about books.
Books. I love books, man. I just wish I knew how to read.
Can I be so real? I actually have
So-
not read a lot of books as much as I should be able to talk about them.
I am currently reading, or I'm rereading Dune right now, but when I tell you that I've been on the first maybe 20 pages for the last like month and a half, not because I'm struggling, just because I only really pick it up like every now and then.
And I'm
I
reading The
struggle.
Shining right now, and it's just kind of one of those things which is a great read, especially compared to the movie, and being able to kind of look at the differences. It's just at this point right now, it's hard for me to pick up a book because I kind of want to just enjoy the moment and be quiet for the next couple hours, and I keep getting distractions in my way, like having a job.
Yeah, having the job. That's the thing. I like to bring my book to work and I think, oh, I'm going to get some reading done. And then I just never do.
So I think, you know what, how about, you're probably reading the title by now, you know this is not about books.
No,
We'll eventually want to get to a book episode where we can talk about books, manga, things of that nature,
for
anything,
sure.
literature, and
Comic books.
comic
Yeah.
books, which would be a great thing for us. But, we'll save that maybe for an opportunity for y'all to share with us what books you like, what books we should read by now, what books that aren't just things that they gave us in high school, middle school, elementary school, but the good ones.
Yeah, because guys, we wanted to, when we were talking about different media that we were going to talk about in our first couple episodes, we definitely did come across like, oh, the books we've read. But at the end of the day, we really just wanted to get into other things because we do think what we're going to be talking about today is a little bit more our speed. Not that books aren't, they're just straight up like we need more time on that, I guess.
As two people who want to be writers in our own ways,
Oh my God,
I
yeah.
think, yes, books are coming soon, very soon. Again, all kind of writing as an episode.
Yeah.
But I think that's a very special one that holds a little bit more than the way we're talking about this because, we
Yeah.
want to give you more audio and visual means that we've seen, perceived, and talk about. And, the other stuff will come.
Yeah, I mean, I read a lot of screenplays. I wouldn't count any of those as like actual literature or books.
I mean, I disagree. And we could
Okay.
save that for the pod.
All right,
But
yeah, we'll save
we're
it.
on the pod now. You're here already.
Welcome, guys.
Let's get into it. How about we start with some music?
Yeah, so we're gonna be talking about some music today, the audio world. Man, what is there to say about music? It's great.
So I think the thing for me about music is I've kind of stayed to my brother's MP3 player since ever.
That's fair.
It's not that I don't change my music. I love listening to all music, but I definitely have my biased favorites. I love
Yeah.
a lot of rock, right? Rock,
Sure.
emo rock, alt rock, psychedelic rock,
Yeah. I
all,
mean,
all kinds of rock.
I'm sure if you listen to the other episodes, it's pretty clear that we are the babies of the family.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that we enjoy come from the older cousins, the older siblings, parents. So yeah, for you, it was your brother, I'm assuming?
Brother rock, and then with my sisters a lot of soul and hip hop.
Okay.
And then my other sister is a lot of like Spanish music and jazz and
Nice.
so there's a little bit of everything there and country. She really likes country lately.
Okay.
But I would say my core is like alt rock, divorced dad rock, just kind of like
Yeah.
the fun stuff that
Divorced dad
the
rock.
fun stuff you see.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What kind of music do you really follow around?
I don't like to be the person where I'm like, oh, I'll listen to everything because then people will throw out a genre and I'm like, okay, maybe it's not like everything, but I'm sure I can find one song from every genre that I actually do vibe with.
Yeah, definitely.
But I really do think nowadays, I center more around 60s, 70s, 80s pop rock.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you could find on a Guardians of the Galaxy playlist, like
Sure.
I'm
That's a good way to see
that's probably my speed.
I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo.
I mean that's so
No,
that's
I love
Guardians
that song.
3, but
No,
that's also
but I love
you know,
Radiohead.
I'm talking
Wow.
about like Come and Get Your Love, Redbone. Like I was listening to that in high school and then I saw Guardians and I'm like, "Hey, let's go."
That's fair. I saw Fleetwood Mac live during an
What?
iHeartRadio festival.
You're really just revealing this to me now?
Yeah,
That's
I never
crazy.
told you this before.
I
And the
love
lineup
that.
was crazy. Maybe I'll tell you a little bit about a lineup I went to. An
Sure.
insane random concert, just to throw it at y'all. It was in Vegas, iHeartRadio. I won free tickets,
Okay.
and my brother and me drove to Vegas from California and back in one night. And
Nice.
we had Fleetwood Mac, we had Panic at the Disco,
Oh my
we
god.
had Childish Gambino.
Oh,
It was a
what
performance.
year was this?
I don't remember. I don't know years. I don't know names.
Because I know
Every
like Childish Gambino, Donald Glover now is impossible to get tickets for. I tried to get when he was in Brooklyn this past
yeah.
year, and even the cheapest tickets were so
Well, like I said, I
expensive.
won them in an event. Like I got them in
True,
a
true, true,
raffle, which was
true.
one of my first times ever winning something in a raffle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, hey,
That's
it was
awesome.
awesome.
Cool. I mean, hey, speaking of concerts, tell me about your journey with concerts. What's your first concert you ever been to?
Ooh, good question. Shout out Nancy, my sister, for taking me to concerts. She's the one that kind of exposed me to them and
Yeah.
took me to stuff like that. I think my first concert was it was a three band lineup. I forget the first one. Apologies to them. And then Weezer performed, and
Awesome.
then Panic at the Disco because
That's
me
so
and
cool.
her were so into Panic. It was like our thing. And we'd
Yeah.
always play together in the cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so she bought me tickets, and it was awesome sitting in the grass. So this was like a grass venue, and you're just watching this performance from daylight to nighttime, and
Yeah.
oh
That's
my,
really
so
cool.
fun. What about you?
Okay, my first concert, I was probably in like fourth grade when I saw it. My mom took me, my sister, and my cousin to see the Cheetah Girls.
What?
Yeah, bro. I saw
You're
the Cheetah.
fucking with me.
No, the Cheetah Girls is my first concert, I can
That's
say.
awesome, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could remember anything about it. I think I was just there for the vibe.
Sure.
I was a Disney kid growing up. My whole family is very into Disney. So I think we were just my sister and my cousin were very interested in seeing it, and then I think my mom was just like, "You want to come?"
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah," and it was fun. We, do you remember Mitchell Musso?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did this thing in between like the opening act and the thing where he came out and he was doing like a thing, but he wasn't performing. He was kind of just like playing a character,
Hmm.
but it was cool. So I remember seeing that and being like, "Oh, he's from Hannah Montana," and yeah, but yeah, the Cheetah Girls.
To think, because honestly, you think about it, you watch like a lot of like growing up. I watched a lot of Disney too, and different like fake, not fake celebrities or fake bands, but there are a lot of
Sure.
cartoons or TV shows or whatever. They have fake bands.
Yeah.
Like, imagine seeing someone perform like that, right? We have Miley
Yeah.
Cyrus now, but Hannah Montana concerts, I bet, go crazy. So it's like the concept of going to Cheetah Girls is like normal, but to my brain, it's like that shouldn't be possible. You
Yeah.
shouldn't be allowed to be able to do that.
Well, because that's the thing with Hannah Montana and like Big Time Rush, where they were
Yeah.
like TV shows before they were the actual performers, or I
Something
guess
like
that's
maybe
how it
like at the
works.
same time they threw it out.
I wonder, could you have gone to a Hannah Montana concert, or was it always like, would it be Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus, or was it just Miley
I think
Cyrus?
around the time they did it, I'm sure they were having Hannah Montana concerts,
Sure.
but Miley Cyrus, obviously, we know it was her. And then eventually, when she moved away from the show, it was just her.
Fair.
And I think same
That,
thing
yeah.
with Big Time Rush. It was like they were an established band who got picked up to do a TV show, and that was kind of like how they got more famous.
Were they?
I'm assuming. I don't know.
I
Let us
could have
know.
sworn that they were hand-picked. They picked four guys and made I like kind of like how One Direction worked, where they were
Again,
all on.
no idea.
You don't know the boy band,
I know One
the
Direction. I
drama.
don't know the lore
You
behind
don't know
it.
the lore. Oh, this guy.
I don't even know the lore
That'll
about
be a whole separate podcast. We'll get somebody on. And we'll talk about One Direction.
boy
And we'll
bands.
talk about.
We can have a
Yeah.
boy band episode.
My girlfriend would love to talk about Big Time Rush. So we'll get
We'll also
people
throw
on.
some
We'll get some
NSYNC in
experts
there,
on.
you know. Get the genre as a boy band. Let's get the Beatles as a boy band. Why not?
Exactly.
Throw them all in there.
Okay, so but would you say the iHeartRadio concert was your favorite concert, or do you have other examples of that?
So I would say that it's almost so because it's so surreal that I got to see all those people, and it was really a
Yeah,
great venue, great seats. First time, not first time, but like a
sure.
time I got to buy my brother a drink. So it's like there's a lot of wonderful moments there. But I think it has to be when I went to the My Chemical Romance reunion
Oh
tour
my, what?
in, was it maybe? It might have been in Long Island.
You've
It
seen a
actually
lot of
was in
good.
Long Island. First time I was in Long
Really?
Island, now I realize wasn't for My Chemical Romance.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
You've seen a
so
lot of good concerts.
thanks.
Yeah,
You know, what can I say? I've only seen
a
a
lot of pop
couple,
punk.
and the one, oh yeah, go
Yeah.
Go me.
Very cool.
But what was so great about it, I think, was I bought those tickets in California for an LA show.
Yeah.
Then COVID happened. So they cut a lot of concerts out and had to reschedule a
Uh,
whole bunch. And it took a while because the time I moved to New York, like I think a year later, they were like, okay, we're gonna start doing the concerts now.
yeah.
And it was like, we can either refund you your money or you can come to the same venue. And I was like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to go back to California around that time. So
Yeah.
I sold the tickets, and then I found some good cheap tickets in Long Island because
That's
people
really
didn't
cool.
realize it was happening again. So I grabbed them. And
That's awesome.
okay, Gerard Way, love Gerard Way and pop culture in general.
Yeah.
He's done amazing things like Umbrella
Yeah.
Academy,
Shadow Umbrella
Shadow
Academy.
Umbrella Academy, and he also has a really cool concept for Batman. I don't know if I've ever showed it to you,
Yeah.
but
I think I've seen bits of it.
him as a musician,
Sure.
they are so phenomenal.
Yeah.
Whoa, like it was just like nothing I'd ever seen before. Everyone was losing their mind. Different age groups too, which was awesome to see. You had
Yeah.
people who grew up with MCR, you had people who just found MCR, and then the people
Sure.
in the middle. And everyone was just screaming their heart out.
Oh, that's so fun. My Chemical Romance is one of those bands where they're done now, right? So there's
See,
no
that's the
way I'd
thing
be
we
able
don't
to.
know because they might do more during the concerts. It's like this kind of secret lore happening that there might be an
Sure.
album they're working on because they put out merch for something that doesn't exist.
Oh,
So we're like, what would that mean? You know?
if they released new music in 2026 or beyond, that would be insane. Because, yeah, I've listened to them growing up, and it would be crazy to have them put out more music. Because I thought they were done. I thought they were fully done.
Give me more. Oh, can I add one more?
Yeah, go right
I
ahead.
forgot. I went to Tame Impala for my birthday,
Yeah, you
and
did. I was
actually,
actually wondering if you were gonna bring that up.
I didn't remember until this one moment right now when I looked at you. Wait, it's your turn. And I went, no, it's my turn. I'm gonna yap a little bit more because that concert was life changing.
Sure.
Actually, I might have to be. I don't know. I'm gonna think on that. But Tame Impala, obviously one of my favorite artists every year. It's on my Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah.
Has been the top for a long time, number one, back and forth. But yeah, Kevin knows what he is doing too. And
Nice.
seeing Dracula, one of his newer songs,
Yeah.
I was levitating in the stands, you know. Oh, and I went by myself. It was a solo one.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say you went by yourself. What's it like going to a concert by yourself compared to going with other people?
Oh, interesting. I think in the time I'm trying to explore more individual practices of just going on the self journey and doing a fun thing.
Yeah.
At first, you can be a little nervous where you're like, oh, I'm by myself. I got to figure out all the things, the lines and where I'm going and
Sure.
where do I eat and stuff like that. It's a lot of self conversations. But then I realized I usually do that anyway. So it's
Yeah.
like I can be a person. And then I made friends. Shout out Yanni. I met a friend there, and
Mm-hmm.
it was cool meeting a person to just kind of learn how you can be an individual in a concert and meet other people who have that same interest
Yeah.
and also vibe, right? And
Yeah.
then I got to sit in my seat with myself, see people next to me having a good time, focusing on the performance. I was like a dad recording half of the concert,
Yeah.
and it was great. Yeah, and then I don't know. It
Yeah.
was definitely recommend everyone go to a concert by yourself at least once.
Okay. That's good to know because that's the thing. I feel like some people, because you and I both go to movies by ourselves a lot, like we're just very comfortable with
Yeah.
that. I know a lot of people that are like, oh, I would never go to a movie by myself. I'd be so lonely. And like, I was, even though I do go to movies by myself a lot, I was concerned. I would feel a little bit like that if I went to a concert.
Yeah.
But hearing from your experience talking about it, I really don't think that would be the case.
Yeah, what would be different, growing up in California where there's a lot of like bands like not college, high school bands
Yeah,
and stuff like that. You go to ska bands by yourself, it's like whatever. So yeah, this one's a little bit bigger of a venue, but same thing as going to a movie by yourself.
sure.
Well, what about you? What would you say that was your favorite for the Cheetah Girls?
No. Imagine I went to a concert in fourth grade for the Cheetah Girls, and I was like, "Yep, nope,
You
never,
PTA concert.
never."
I mean, honestly though, if I saw a band like that when I was young, and it's like y'all can't compete.
Yeah, no. I mean, granted, it was really cool. I'm gonna throw some out there that I think were close, and then I'm gonna probably throw out
Okay.
my favorite one. Because truth be told, I haven't been to a ton of concerts. Something about like I don't know. I just am not someone who itches to immediately go to a
Sure,
concert.
me either.
I think the only time I ever really did that was when I saw, I think it was Weezer and Fall Out Boy were opening for Green Day or something like that. Like it was a lineup in
Yeah, I
2018.
was at one concert, that exact lineup. Which one was it? Don't tell me it was the same one I was at, because this is gonna be.
Well, I didn't go to it.
Oh, you didn't go. What was it supposed to
No.
be?
Okay,
Was
this
it
was
Yankee
supposed to be somewhere.
Stadium?
Yeah, it was supposed to
I
be.
was there.
I hate you.
I'm being dead serious. I was gonna save that for later to not
You were in the
interrupt you.
city in 2018?
Was it not 20? No, you're
It was
talking. It was the band. It was Weezer. It was
Fall Out
Fallout,
Boy
and
and
it was
Green
Green Day.
Day.
And Green Day were the
The
head the
the headliners,
headliners.
yeah.
That was during COVID.
Was it during COVID?
Hmm.
Maybe I was getting my years crossed, but that's
Yeah, it was
crazy.
right, around the time that things had been more open, but still people were
Sure.
being a little more careful. And Fallout Boy
Yeah,
got COVID,
that's
and they
crazy.
had to pull out. And
Oh,
so
okay,
that
so
was
maybe
gonna
it's
be
good that I didn't.
my first time seeing Fall Out Boy perform, because I love Fall Out Boy,
Yeah,
and I didn't get it. So
wild.
wow, we could have been in the same venue. That's
Wow. I
insane.
mean, you never think about that where like you ever run into someone or like you have a conversation with people or like a friend and then you realize that you were in the same space like years and years ago
I
together.
thought it was happening now.
I
I was
know.
gonna lose my mind.
That would have been wild. But nope. I think I was very excited when I first saw that, but then I didn't have any friends that really wanted to go, like that didn't have a desire.
Yeah,
And then it was so much money, which at the
sure.
time I was just like,
That's
I'm
fair.
okay.
And I think one regret I had was not buying merch,
Sure.
because like I also was like, yeah, I don't want to spend the money on the merch, but like they're nice trinkets to have. So
Yeah.
my advice to all of you is, if you go to a concert, and the concerts are expensive already, I know, but buy something small,
Yeah.
like a t-shirt or a button or whatever,
Yeah.
so you can remember the moment, because those little trinkets matter.
Yeah.
And I remember the shirt. A couple of my coworkers at the time all got shirts. I didn't get one because I was like, I'm balling on a budget. I don't want this.
Yeah.
I would have. I should have.
Fair. And I mean, so like, I guess I am never itching for a concert, but whenever I'm there, I love live music.
Yeah.
And then I love the feeling of being in an audience of people singing along with music. Like, something about it just feels great. Like,
Yeah.
everybody around you enjoying the same thing at the same time. It's different from like a movie or I guess, like, I don't know, a sporting event
Mhm.
where I guess because everyone's singing along to the same rhythm and it just it's I don't know how to describe it. It's a great feeling and I'm sure you know exactly what I'm
Yeah,
talking
definitely.
about. But some concerts I've been to that aren't Cheetah Girls, like I said, hard to beat. But I would say Journey. I went to a Journey concert one year.
Okay. Weird
Journey,
flex.
no, Journey was pretty cool. It was with one of the new singer,
Yeah.
and he's phenomenal. The voice sounds almost exactly. I think his name's Steve Perry. I'm a terrible person, but I'm a terrible person for not knowing.
Mhm.
But I loved hearing "Don't Stop Believing" live. That was so fun.
Sure.
And then let's see another one. I saw Pink in concert maybe like 2 or 3 years ago.
Uh huh.
And have you seen clips of her flying around the stadium
Yes.
It was
It
crazy.
was just like that.
Seeing that in person is wild.
Yeah.
I saw it at I think the Nationals baseball stadium in DC, and she flew from the stage to like 20 feet from the nosebleeds in maybe 5 seconds. She flew.
Yeah. That's
She's flying
so
around,
scary.
and it was cool because then there was one part because it was kind of raining for most of the concert. There was one part she brought her whole band out to like the middle of the stage where like water was clearly raining down,
Yeah.
and they were banging the drums and they were playing the guitar and they were all getting soaked, but it looked so fun. And
Nice.
they were joining us in the crowd who was also getting completely soaked.
Whoa.
So it was kind of like this great experience where everyone was jamming out in the same like emotion that I was saying that
Yeah.
everyone's in this together and it was just a great moment. And then I think my favorite concert I went to in October of this year is Jesse Wells. Not big compared to Journey and Pink, but he's had a bit of a come up. He is a folk Americana, like bluegrass, acoustic singer.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen a little bit of his stuff. I'm always playing his
Yeah,
things
yeah.
around.
You play them for me.
Um,
I listened to a little bit in my apartment alone when I didn't get the invite, so I'm caught up to speed.
you're crazy. But yeah, when we bought those tickets, you didn't even live in the city, so
That's fair.
it's hard to say. But that being said, yeah, his concert was pretty unplugged. For a couple of his songs, he brought out a band, his band that he tours with, and it was great. Everybody knew every single word to his songs. Um, I was about maybe 10 feet from him because we rushed that stage.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, he had no opener, so he comes on at 8:30 and he was on until 10:30. So for
Yo.
2 hours, he was just grooving.
Wow.
And it was a great experience. He's a phenomenal lyricist, and also he plays the harmonica throughout most of his music, and it juxtaposes a lot of other music I listen to.
Hmm.
But folks, if you have not heard of Jesse Wells, he's been growing. You might have seen him on TikTok. He posts a lot of like political music. I highly recommend him. He's outstanding.
Well, it's actually interesting that you say not to get too much into it, but enough because it is important, right?
For
Well, I
sure.
heard about this thing that folk music becoming more popular and
Yeah.
really big on our mainstream's not a good sign. Like
No.
even though it's wonderful music, it's still also a site of something within our musical history.
Yeah, so the history of folk and even country music in our history of music in our country, a lot of it has to do with anti-government or anti-oppression uh, agendas, where it's a lot of people who are just not down on their luck, but they are the average American or the
Yeah,
average person, and they are writing about the troubles that they're facing. And if
true.
you hear a lot of older music that's in those genres, you'll hear it. Older Johnny Cash is incredibly political,
Yeah,
and a lot of people maybe it just goes over their head, but it for sure is.
sure.
And you hear that genre, and yeah, Jesse Wells, not that he is like the singular person doing this, but to me and to a lot of people in the community, he has for sure been the person spearheading it.
Hmm.
Where he put out one song called "War Isn't Murder" on TikTok in 2024,
Yeah.
and in that time, it's become one of his most popular songs. And even people who don't really know Jesse Wells, I see them put one of his quick little tunes on his Instagram on their Instagram
Yeah,
story
yeah,
every couple of months if something happens, because he's also very quick with his music too.
yeah.
He sees what's on the news, he spends a day working on it, and then he'll put out a song. So he's really cool in that aspect, and that's what I really appreciate about him. Um, and then, like I said, he's just a phenomenal lyricist.
Yeah.
Even the music that's not inherently political, it's still just I don't say this lightly. He's a genius when it comes to writing lyrics.
That's
It's great.
but I mean, from what I've
Yeah,
heard, I can agree, and it's just that's also to get into like the writing of music. It's
sure.
I think I'm a person who kind of listens to music, puts it on shuffle, has
Yeah,
my favorites. I don't really pay attention as much as I should to lyrics, but like there are sometimes you hear a lyric and you like stop yourself and you go, wait, what a second, and then you hit 30 seconds back and you re-listen to it.
yeah,
I know a lot of other people who are really into music sit down and like read lyrics when albums first come out. That's probably the right way to do it. But
yeah.
it's kind of different. Everyone listens to music different. I just kind of consume it. But I can only imagine what kind of lyrics he's given out when it's like when people normally just take music and listen. Now everyone's paying attention.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you were touching on this a little bit. Are you the type of person who is very engrossed in a particular, I'd say, artist or a particular genre or a particular, maybe even just the album of a specific artist? Because I know some people that know literally everything about heavy metal and they don't listen to a single other thing, but they can name all the heavy metal bands that are like, same thing with people who are just into rap or just into country,
Yeah.
or maybe they know all of one specific band and they know all of their music, all the lyrics, all the albums. Like, would you call yourself that person or?
No, I like to think I do have my favorites in genres,
Yeah,
right? Like I have like some examples: Tame Impala, Joe, Djo, however you want to say
Yeah.
it. Shout out Joe Keery, freaking amazing.
Oh yeah.
Queens of Stone Age, Panic at Disco, MCR. So like I have my genres I like and I fall into a lot, which is I said a lot of rock heaviness into it, but different genres of rock. But I wouldn't say I'm like only in that genre because I had a K-pop phase
Yeah.
and I'm still in it, never left. But like I
Yeah.
had a time where I was like only listening to K-pop because I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, why am I not paying attention to this? I need to. So I kind of fall in waves of genre where it's
Yeah.
like I'll sit down and sit with it for a minute and be like, okay, I really like one artist, so then I put on like a playlist that is like music like this,
Yeah.
and you fall into that. I also really like film scores, right? And
Yeah.
like we sit
For
down and listen
sure.
to that. One of my favorite things to do after watching a movie is go on a walk, listen to the score on
Oh yeah.
Spotify or like anywhere else, and just kind of enjoy that. But then also whatever friends recommend me, and then I kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. What about you?
I honestly, aside from Jesse Wells in the last 2 years, I kind of just pick and choose. I'd say, "Oh, I love the Beatles," and someone would go, "Oh, like you like this album?" And I'm like, "No, never heard of it." And they're like,
Yeah.
"Then what do you mean you like the Beatles?" That thing where it's like, "Oh, you like this? Name five albums or name
Yeah.
five
Yeah.
songs." I would fail for most people that I say I enjoy.
Yeah. Me too.
Like for a while, this is like a pivot from the genres we were talking about, but Coloring Book by Chance the Rapper
Right.
was my favorite album for the longest time. But people would be like, "Oh yeah, I love Acid Rap by him," and I'm like, "I like one song on Acid Rap,"
Mhm.
and like, and people that I'm sure so many people are shocked by that, like because Acid Rap is considered one of more popular, um, but I can't explain it. I just loved Coloring Book. But that was the thing. I liked Coloring Book. I liked a few songs on Acid Rap, and then I fell out with different things. And at the end of the day, I just kind of like the music that I like. And if it tends to be more from one artist or more from one specific
Sure.
album, cool. If not, I really am just bouncing around by the feel.
Well, I think that's kind of how I am too, because even things I listen to all the time, like I love Daft Punk. I grew up on Daft Punk for my family.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, what song's playing? Is this a new band?" They're like, "It's Daft Punk. You've heard this a million times." I'm like, "Oh
Uh
yeah, of
huh.
course I have, right?" Or like even the someone like Radiohead, you can put on a song for me and I'd be like, "Oh my God, I love this. What is this?" And it's like
Hmm.
Radiohead. It's like, "Oh yeah, of course I know that." So I think I'm also when I'm really bad at names sometimes, especially with like movies. If you saw the movie episode,
Yeah.
I'm so bad at that. Same thing with music, songs, and titles. Like I just kind of vibe to the music,
Yeah.
and I forget sometimes that to pay attention to the entity of it.
Yeah, for sure. And me as a writer, I tend to get into music that I'm circling about what I'm writing.
Hmm.
So if I have like a Western pilot that I'm writing, if
Sure.
I'm writing the Western pilot or I'm trying to get into the mood of it, I will create a Western playlist of songs I've loved for years now, but I've put them all in one place so that I can listen to it, get into the mood.
Sure.
And then like I don't like EDM, but I don't love EDM, but I have a playlist of like 5 or 6 songs that are mostly EDM, and I throw in some like anime intros as
Sure.
well,
Yeah.
just to get me into another thing that I'm writing. And then like I play a lot of bluegrass and a lot of maybe like 60s, 70s like soft rock for another thing that I'm writing, and like that is a thing that I do
Yeah,
consistently.
and I think that's a great way to do it, like creating like playlists, mixtapes of things, especially in the where you're trying to sit, or like if you're writing on concepts, like
Yeah.
if I'm writing a heist movie or something like that, like
Uh
I might have
huh.
a mix of rock, but also you gotta have some Frank Sinatra in there, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
being able to like kind of splice things together that maybe shouldn't fit together, but they do,
Yeah.
and it's just like each person is gonna be different in that sense, and I don't know, maybe it'd be kind of fun to make a playlist of like movies that have music that has affected us, and then drop it for everyone to see it because
Yeah.
we can't get into all of them today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the fun thing about music is like there's always something to revisit and find, whether it is something older,
Yeah.
newer, whatever. Like it's never too late.
Yeah. Off the top of your head, do you remember your Spotify Wrapped for this year, or an idea of it?
I have an idea. So, like I said, normally Tame Impala is number one, but it got pushed to two because I listened to Plave, which is a K-pop band, so
Okay.
much in like 2 months because it's just hyping me up that it somehow became my number one. Hey,
Yeah.
I'll take it. Joe or Joe,
Uh
however you
huh.
pronounce it. Um, Queens of the Stone Age, which is a desert rock band,
Yeah.
and I do forget what the fifth one
That's
was.
fair. Yeah.
I'd probably throw in something like My Chemical Romance or
Yeah.
Radiohead.
That's fair. Because I'm trying to think of off the top of my head. I know Jesse Wells was my top. I'm trying to think of the number two, but then number three was literally the soundtrack to K-pop Demon Hunter.
More K-pop in our life.
It was amazing, and I mean, in the
Yeah.
previous year, I think I even had BTS in my top
Oh,
five.
no
Cause
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, exactly. But that's the thing. Like, I go from Jesse Wells' Americana Bluegrass to K-pop Demon Hunter, and then I think my number four this year was Kendrick Lamar because I was loving his music this year.
Yeah.
The album that he put out was great. And then my number five, I think for the last like few years, has always been the Beatles, just because I don't listen to them all the time, but they just consistently
Consistently new.
make that list.
And there's always the ones that you have in every playlist where you're gonna find them and just kind of replayable.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I mean, dude, what are you listening to right now?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think at this point I'm listening to us talking this podcast while
Oh
we're
yeah,
editing and
that's
continue
so
putting out
true.
these episodes. But when I make time besides music, I do like to listen to podcasts on my walks
Yeah.
or whenever we're on the subway. Sorry, y'all. Do you listen to podcasts
I
besides
I
making them?
I do. Normally I listen to podcasts, and normally I'm on my way to like I most of my commutes are podcasts. I do listen to music more when I'm writing or when I'm doing dishes or when I'm just doing stuff around the house. Especially when I'm working actually. But I would say podcasts take up more of my time, especially in the last couple of years, just because I like what other people have to say.
Yeah,
I like being in a specific mood for music just because, I'm trying to feel the lyrics or I'm trying to feel the emotion that it's trying to give. But when I'm on a commute, I just like listening to what other people have to say.
yeah.
And sometimes it's not like, it's almost never educational. Like, so I'm mostly always listening to name a couple, Smosh, the shout out Smosh Mouth, Amanda and Shane. You guys are a huge inspiration for what we're doing right now. But then, Good Mythical Morning, Rhett and Link. I have a few other YouTube channels that they post so many video essays and I'm always listening to them. Or even if I'm not in the mood to fully rewatch a movie or a TV show that I've watched, I watch reaction videos. And I know a lot of people don't love reaction videos, but to me, it's a way for me to like if I'm not interested in rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender all over again,
Sure.
which I do almost every other year. But if I'm just not in the mood to watch it, but I want to like hear people talk about it, I just throw on some people watching it. They react to my favorite parts, and then after that, they talk about it for 10, 15 minutes, which I think is pretty cool. It's like a mini podcast in itself.
Sure. I mean, I do like that specific concept. I love listening to the podcasts that do like after things.
Yeah,
So right now on HBO they do that pretty much with every TV show they put out.
yeah.
Whether it's Lots of Us, Welcome to Derry,
Mm-hmm.
Succession, they have their after the podcast or whatever they call it, after hours, where they talk about each episode.
Yeah,
Every time it airs, they break it down. They have different guests on there, so you get to hear whether from actors or from people who worked on it,
yeah.
and you get to hear like just fun things dissecting it, right? And I imagine that's really cool, and like other stuff like to review content. I know I usually listen to some podcasts. There's like some movie ones or some screenwriting ones where they'll just pick a movie, TV genre, whatever, and get into it. Because it's nice to, like you said, not have to revisit something, or if you can't, you're hearing the conversation and your brain is making those images for you.
Yeah.
Which is why podcasts are so much fun, right? Because you get to listen to something that could be a visual media,
Yeah.
but it's kind of nice not to always have to focus on it, especially if you're driving, if you're on the subway,
Yeah.
or if you just like, again, I like listening to podcasts when I work out because it
Yeah.
just kind of helps me stay enough in the zone, but also have a good time, right?
Yeah.
One of my favorite podcasts to listen to is Fat Man Beyond.
Okay.
Kevin Smith, Mark Bernard, uh, two of my inspirations for podcasting. Kevin
Yeah.
Smith's been doing podcasting for a very long time, and he's a big inspiration, but also someone who started it in that world. He has so many podcasts now, I can't even
Yeah.
keep up with all of them. But Fat Man Beyond was my pop culture podcast. It's the one
Okay.
where they talk about the things they like, and
Yeah.
they obviously have more connections in the sense that they're bringing people from far corners of the pop culture world and bring them on to talk, and getting these like organic human conversations from people where
Yeah.
they dissect the media, but also they just kind of make jokes and laugh, and you're like, oh yeah, we all do that. We're all human, which is
Yeah.
refreshing for me, right? Because it's usually at shout out Scum and Villainy, a bar in Los Angeles that's designed to look like it's ripped out of Star Wars,
Okay.
and
That's
so they
cool.
usually record there. And
Oh,
then,
really? They record at the bar?
yeah, it's like a
Oh.
whole event that you can go show up and
Oh.
you can
Oh,
get
with
tickets
an
for with an
audience.
audience. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They do a live audience,
Oh, that's
but then they
cool.
have their days where they do it on Zoom or because Kevin's always traveling. Sometimes he's in
Sure.
Jersey while Mark is in LA, whatever.
Yeah.
So they do that. But yeah, usually it's like a live event. There's some. They actually have some in New Jersey. We should go to one.
Yeah, honestly, that sounds really
Yeah.
cool. I wonder what it would be like to do this with an audience. Because, I mean, I'm sure they're used to it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems intimidating.
Well, it's fun because like I mean, yeah, they're used to it and it is intimidating as like an entertainer.
Do they
The-
talk to the audience? Like, do they get the audience
So
involved?
that's what I
I
was gonna
feel
say.
like.
That's one of my favorite parts because I mean, in general, they'll say something and you hope you will hear people scream in the audience when they
Sure.
like something, they don't like something, and it's kind of like stand-up comedy when someone makes a
Yeah.
noise and they're like, "What did you just say?" Or like, "What are you talking about?" And so
Yeah.
they do like to pick from the audience and make comments or joke with them or talk about them, or they'll ask the audience things and moments.
Yeah.
But they also do a Q&A at the end. And
Okay.
they let a group of people get up and ask questions and they give them gifts and rewards for going up, which is sweet and nice. But sometimes the Q&As are one of the better parts of the podcast because some people have been cooking on a really long question. They've been waiting to ask Kevin or Mark
Yeah.
or maybe the guest that they have.
Yeah.
And like you get some really interesting debates from those questions.
Very cool. I love that. Actually, if they ever do have one in New Jersey, I think we make the trip to
No, we
see
go
that.
Small Castle,
Yeah.
or the Small Cast Cinema because he bought a movie theater.
Very cool.
And so they do stuff around those two places. I forget which one it is, but we should go.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. I'd love to go with you.
That's awesome. I
Uh,
would be remiss if I didn't mention one specific podcast. They're not the biggest podcast. I don't know their numbers now. Shout out my Long Island boys because they are from Long Island, and I've listened to them for
Long
2
Island,
years.
Strong Island.
Oh God, this guy.
I know what you're saying.
Long Island, Strong Island. I would never. That's actually the first time I said it right there. That's rough.
I've heard you say it so many times.
But so I listened to this podcast called Nerd Soup for a good 2 years before I even learned that I'm 3 towns over from where they live. It was really weird
That's cool.
because during COVID we were all just locked in our houses for months at a time, and I was getting so stir crazy that I would just go out and I would just walk for like 4 to 5 hours a day. And in that time, that's when I really got heavy into like YouTube videos mostly, the video essays. But I really got into podcasts in that time because I needed something to fill those hours. And when I stumbled on their videos, one of their first videos I saw was a thing that came out before I think The Last Jedi, and it was titled "Is Rey a Palpatine?" They were one of the first people that proposed the idea,
The
and they
theory. Yeah.
actually had great points where her theme somewhat matches
Oh,
Palpatine's
wow.
theme. Like things like that, since then, like now that we know for sure she is a Palpatine, but like they didn't think that hard into it.
Yeah.
Um, these guys were cooking up, and so it was Aaron and Bo and Teddy. So those are the three guys. They're such different personalities, but when they talk about media, they all have those different experiences and those different
Yeah.
viewpoints. It was always a really great podcast to listen to. And then one day they referenced something that is down the block from them, which was only a 10-minute drive for me. And
Whoa.
that was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been listening to them for like 5 years now, and they're great. So yeah, if you're listening to this and you like us even a fraction, check out Nerd Soup as well. They are awesome, and you should check them out.
Yeah, I mean, and I get you with it. And I think during that time was also when you're trying to find something to kind of take yourself away from things. And for me, I went on long walks listening to the podcast as well.
Yeah,
For me, that was through Headgum. I don't know if you know
a
Headgum
little bit.
podcast
Yeah.
century from some of the people who were in College Humor. Instead of going the
Oh,
dropout way, Jake and Amir went traded their own Headgum podcast network.
I actually didn't know it came
Um,
from College Humor.
yeah, yeah,
That's
because they
cool.
used to have Jake and Amir. college humor bits, and I forget what they would exactly do.
Okay.
But then they eventually made their own podcast, and then created a network, and they also do other stuff, not just podcasts, but
Yeah.
they have really like a real big avenue in the podcast world, and it's what kind of was inspiring me at the time to want to make a podcast when I was thinking about it so long ago,
Yeah.
because I'd listened to how authentic they were.
Yeah.
Something that really stands out on anyone that I've listened to on the HeadGum network is these people are just authentically them,
Yeah.
and they're gonna do exactly what they're saying they're gonna do, and that's all I need, right?
That's
Like
cool.
I don't need anyone to pretend or anyone to kind of fib it. Like they're saying the thing that comes to their mind and just letting it be, while also hitting certain like little avenues to meet what the theme is of the podcast. And I love that. One
Yeah.
of my favorite ones from them is, or probably the favorite, is NADPod, not another D&D podcast, which
Okay.
you have kind of heard of, but
Yeah.
if you guys like D&D and you guys haven't heard this, kind of wild because if you're watching Dimension 20 and stuff like that, a lot of the college humor people who were like Murph, Emily,
Sure.
um, who are on Dropout, that's one of their first podcasts that came in,
That's cool.
D&D related anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they're so busy because they're still doing that to this day. And Murph is actually the DM, which
Okay.
is so fun.
Very cool.
Emily's a player, Jake is a player,
Yeah.
and one of the great things about NADPOD is around the time I was getting into D&D, like actually for the first time,
Yeah.
besides just like playing small games here or there. And you have a character level for everyone. You have Murph, who's the DM, and he's really good at explaining the rules and helping everyone kind of stay in the game, whether they understand it or not. You have Emily, who's a player at this point, who's ready to do the shenanigans, ready to do the crazy things, not looking to have the best build ever, just more aesthetically fitting their character and having fun. You have I'm forgetting his name. I apologize, but he's from Drawful. Oh my God, I can't remember. But
Yeah.
he's a character who's like someone who has been playing for a while, but he also is still new. So he has questions. But he's
But I'm
also
sure
playing
that
for a little
helps
bit.
audience members who
Exactly.
aren't that familiar.
And then you have Jake, who that was his first D&D game playing live,
That's cool.
and he's playing a human fighter. And
Nice.
it's like,
Love it.
and that's what he's doing. He's the player that is helping you as someone who might not know D&D ask the questions that you probably would have asked yourself at the table.
Yeah.
So in this weird way, you're getting such a beautiful story, but also like scaling for wherever you're at in D&D,
Yeah.
you'll learn through this game.
That's cool. That's actually something that I was going to bring up while we were talking about podcasts. So many podcasts nowadays that I feel like are watched and listened to in our circles are D&D podcasts.
Yeah.
You have things like Critical Role, Dimension 20. Have you ever heard of Dungeons and Daddies?
Dungeons and Daddies, yes.
Dungeons and Daddies is a good one.
The Milk Elroy brothers had their own Club
Yeah.
Adventure Zone.
Yeah. Smosh even had one called Sword AF, which I loved because they're really great with characters.
Yeah.
Like they really get involved. So they were very funny and very great to listen to. But yeah, I think what a great way for D&D to grow as a thing, because I know for a lot of people it kind of re-entered the zeitgeist through Stranger Things,
Yeah.
but they were able to, I guess, capitalize on that, and now I feel like it's very in the pop culture world in a way that it hasn't been.
Yeah.
And then you have people like, or everyone in Dropout, like Brennan Lee Mulligan's career skyrocketed since then, and it's all because of D&D, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
Like it's cool.
And it's one thing for someone to skyrocket and do something and just like make it, but for that to be something that you cared about so much and so passionate and find an avenue to make a living off of it, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of these people that we like watching play D&D, they don't just enjoy it because it was a bit for them or just
Yeah.
like something that's popular.
It's not the new cool
Well,
thing
new
for
cool
them.
thing. And for some people it is new to them and they learn that they
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
But it's like Brennan's been, this has like been his passion since so little, right?
Yeah.
And he talks about it all the time, like, I never thought I was gonna be able to make a living out of this.
Yeah.
And now I am, and I'm so thankful.
Of
And
course.
it doesn't come out of a way of like I'm better than or
Never.
no ego in a sense of like, oh
Yeah.
my God, it had to be me. Because he is proud of himself.
Sure.
And he knows he's confident in who he is.
Yeah.
But there's a way to do it that's very charming in the way that he can just be him.
Yeah.
Love
Oh,
that dude.
I love it. Get back to music for a little bit. Do you have anything that you'd consider like the best song ever written, or the best album ever written, or maybe the best band or the best vocalist? We're not doing a
Mm,
top five today on like TV, movies, and games episodes. But is there anything that you'd maybe put in those as contenders?
I don't know. I when it comes to music, I'm so weird in the sense that I don't like to have a top or a
Oh,
favorite in
for
the sense of
sure.
like this is the best thing of all time because tomorrow I might hear a song that's been out for years and be like this is the best thing I've ever heard,
Yeah.
and then like a day later I'll hear something that just came out an hour ago and I'm like this is the best thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I'll make a playlist and then I'll drop it out in the comments and then
Yeah.
let everyone see my favorite songs and songs that kind of inspire me.
Yeah.
But what about you? Do you have one that comes to mind?
I don't know, because music is very subjective. So, like, trying to say, "Oh, this is the best thing ever made," or because there's no God, I don't think there's a like a Godfather or a Citizen Kane of music.
I think there is. I'm not musically educated enough to make those
You think so?
statements. Absolutely. I know that there are certain bands or composers or
The only thing that comes to mind is like Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen.
sure
I feel like most people will put that in
can
that
agree is one of the
category.
top, right? I mean,
Don't
don't
Stop Believing is
don't
also
forget my boy Beethoven over here.
Beethoven. Yeah, I think I like Salieri. I think he's doing really good these days. This guy
Frank Sinatra would be probably one of the best, right? If I had to
That's a
pick
good point.
someone,
My
I
Way.
lied. Rack Pack Boy. I would say maybe Frank Sinatra, but like just because he like
Yeah.
to me stands out.
Yeah. Fly Me to the Moon. My Way. I think those you could also say are contenders for
All
that.
right.
I don't know. I just felt like we should bring that up
Some
just
of the
because we're
big
not
hitters.
doing a top five
Yeah,
today.
yeah, yeah.
We're just shooting
I mean,
the
again,
shooting the
Daft
stuff
Punk, I would also say musically is
around the world.
around the world.
Yo, we're
And
gonna get monetized. We're
I
gonna get
know
demonetized for that. They're
I've
gonna
been singing
copyright.
this whole time, but I can't stop it, and not good at all. But yeah, I think that's another person, a group of two people I would say go on that list because they just came up and did the damn thing.
Yeah.
Um, which kind of talk a little bit about Daft Punk, and I know you said you don't really like necessarily love techno, rave, etc.
It's not my cup of tea, but I do enjoy some
But
aspects.
would you go to a live DJ set? Because I've just gotten into like the concept of DJ sets.
It's hard for me because I do understand that because my roommate in college was getting big into DJing, and he does a lot of audio stuff now. So I know that like because a lot of people do think that DJing is just playing a track and then playing a track and then playing another track, and
Sure.
they don't think there's any talent to it. There for sure is talent and skill, but to me, I don't know. When I talk about enjoying live music, for me, it's always instruments and vocals. I'm really big into hearing an instrument live, and
Sure.
I'm really big into hearing raw vocals live.
I get that, and I understand why, but no, DJ sets for me, it's something newer that I'm getting into. But
Sure.
like you said, there is a talent into it, and it's like to be able to carry the energy of the room and know that one bad play could stop that energy is
I
just
mean,
kind of
yeah.
interesting to me. And it's not always just techno or like dead mouse style stuff, which is still cool. But I've
Yeah.
also been seeing a lot of DJ sets where it's like people mix different kind of genres together, where you'll have like house music playing, and then they'll switch into like alt funk, and then
Yeah.
you'll have some that's like Latin American mixing
Yeah.
into other stuff. And it's like to me that's so cool because they're creating it's almost like a set list and they're creating their own blend of a genre in that day that's really going to be that time and that time only.
That's fair. Yeah, no, that's cool. And that's something that I want to be more open to, just because it's not my thing, but I do find every now and then something does catch my eye and I am
Sure.
interested in it. Or should I say catch my ear?
Oh,
Clearly.
on that note, someone that catches my ear I should shout out or else I will hate myself is the Smiths. I think the Smiths
Oh,
also fall into that category of
yeah,
like legends.
for sure.
And if you ever go to karaoke with me and want to hear me sing so bad, if you get me drunk enough, I will be singing
You
the Smiths.
you are so fun to listen and watch do karaoke because you have not a care in the world. We live in New York City where people go on karaoke and they try so hard to sound good because they are performers.
Yeah.
You don't want to be someone that's trying to make it on Broadway and then go on and bomb on karaoke.
Not me,
Like
baby. I bomb on karaoke to have
but no,
fun.
but that's the thing. Like you did, what song Panic? You did Panic at
I
the
write
Disco.
sins, not tragedies.
Yeah, you did that recently, and when I tell you it had the whole entire bar going nuts, it was so fun. You get into it. You move and you dance and you're getting the crowd involved. You're putting the mic to the people
Yeah.
singing next to you. You are a rock star of karaoke, even if you say you don't have the vocals.
No,
'Cause,
and I
like,
don't have the vocals, but I will say I'm every time I do it, I surprise myself in how I can get in the energy with the crowd. And it takes a crowd for me to get there, right?
yeah,
If the crowd was like stale and everyone was looking at me, I probably wouldn't
sure.
have been so in the mood,
Yeah,
in the dance, in the vibe, whatever.
but you're
But
comfortable on stage, or a little more comfortable
I'm
than most
actually
people.
not.
Oh,
But
okay.
in the moment, I forget and I trick myself into thinking I am because I see
Valid.
one person like I look in the corner, Brian's smiling at me, give me a thumbs up, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this, you know? And so I forget for the second. And usually I do indoor karaoke or like where it's just like a
Yeah,
room.
it's the
That
room.
was my first time performing on a stage in front of random people.
Oh yeah?
And I was so scared, I almost didn't do it, but then I was like, I gotta do this for Rachel's birthday. So
Yeah.
I signed myself up, and in the moment I had so much fun. Like you said, everyone was coming on the stage to me. I was passing the mic around. I was feeling like in a moment that I was a performer, and that was fun
It's
enough.
fun.
But could we talk about how amazing you were
This
and
is
how
crazy.
okay, everyone, just real quick, if you know Brian and you've seen Brian sing, you know what I'm talking about, but a lot of you might not know Brian's hidden talent.
You're gassing me up.
No, I'm not, because I have video proof of people's faces dropping in like a oh my God, Brian can sing. And we're like, okay, maybe I had the room dancing and vibing. You had everyone stunned
That's
by how
crazy.
phenomenal your vocals were.
I'm not even trying to be like humble or whatever. I watched the video and I was like, yeah, this is so mid. Like, not in a bad way, not in the way where I'm putting myself down, but I'm just like, if I heard myself singing at a bar, I probably would just continue ordering my drink.
Meanwhile, you have of one of our friends looking around the room going, can you believe this? So take with that what you will is all I'm going to say.
Hey, listen, I used to be a choir boy growing up, and not to brag, I was the lead of my high school play my senior year.
I mean,
But
yeah, I could tell now. If you told me that, I thought you were messing with me, but now I believe it.
oh man. Oh, when I tell you, so I liked doing the musicals when I was in high school. Um, but performing in front of an audience and more so performing the lines, not so much the music, performing like the acting bits
Hmm.
actually gave me anxiety. Like it was my first bit of like pure anxiety that I felt in my body, and now I feel it all the time in different scenarios.
Sure.
But I can track that being one of the first cases where
That's
I
fair.
was just like, I can't do this. I have to memorize lines, and I would have nightmares going into that of wondering like, imagine being on stage, Saturday night performance, full auditorium of people, and I just forget my lines. I was so petrified. I made sure that I would not forget a single line. I maybe wasn't performing them great, but I was saying them.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, that's my biggest flex. I peaked in high school. I performed.
And I wish I would have like that was something I actually wanted to do, like to cut away from music for a second. I wanted to do drama in high school,
Yeah.
but instead I got put into business academy, which is why I made it now, y'all. And but I do remember having to do two senior one acts, which were like I mean I don't know if every high school does it, but it's
Yeah.
like the seniors in the theater club get to do their own like one act performance, and I got to do two of them, which stressed me out because I had to learn not just one but two characters and
Yeah.
do it the same week and remember all those lines and yeah I don't know how y'all do it as actors because
It's yeah,
it
every time someone has like a long monologue, especially if I see it live,
yeah.
I give them so much credit. I am impressed with them no matter how well they're performing. And if they're performing and they're getting that emotion and they're getting into it,
Yeah,
I love it so much. I find that so talented.
sure. It is.
Um,
It's great to watch, and it was fun to do when I did it. So it's like
yeah,
kind of stuff, but also performing. But imagine that on TV in like a sense of YouTube, like we said, Smosh, right?
sure.
Where they have a camera recording on them. Technically, it's not live, but it's also not just a pre-recorded thing. And
Yeah.
sometimes a lot of their things, it's just kind of like in the moments, like try not to laugh and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like improv is it freaks me out in a different way
Yeah.
because you could do something that's live and it's scripted, and if you mess up those lines, it makes it harder for everybody else to continue. But with improv, you have to bring that storytelling yourself.
Yeah.
So it's the writing part that's actually the stressful part. And then you have to keep the energy high if it's something like dramatic or comedy or whatever it is.
Hmm.
You have to be the writer and the performer in an instant.
Yeah.
So anybody doing improv as well, I kudos to you. It's very difficult. Something that you and I are both interested in. Honestly, if you're listening to this like a year or two after we put it out, hopefully we have sketches or performances of us doing improv. So yeah,
And would be a lot
check
of
out
fun to
that
do those
journey.
things. Yeah. Hey, click this link right above my head right now, even though this is not in video format. You'll find it right there.
Click the link right above his head, and I'm looking just at his wall.
But yeah, and so like maybe let's go to YouTube a little bit because YouTube is
Sure.
a treasure place for a lot of these things we talk about, but a lot of creatives who get to decide what they want to put in an audio or a visual format.
For sure.
And that takes a lot, right? And I think it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's necessarily television or movies or music or podcast. It's
It's
kind
its
of
own
created
thing.
its own thing
Yeah.
because I think in YouTube, it obviously, as everyone knows it, it gives the opportunity to just kind of put something out there, even past a TikTok, a Vine, or whatever,
Yeah.
because you can put out like very lengthy things or shorter things depending on what you want for every niche out there. There's things for movies, for video games, for cooking,
Even just streaming, like
streaming,
highlights,
crocheting, right? My mom, when she
everything.
crochets stuff, she'll go on YouTube and watch a crochet video and then make me something awesome. So it's like, it's just kind of like an avenue for people to like fall into different things.
There's not one specific genre, and that's what I think is really cool about it.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you had unlimited channels for TV,
Yeah.
and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Are there any specific people that come to mind or specific channels of YouTube that come to mind?
Ooh, good question. I mean, we keep talking about Smosh. Smosh is
Yeah.
definitely on one of the top of the list, if not the top for me.
Yeah.
But like to kind of give something maybe a little bit more me, I have lately got into video game streamers, and
Sure.
where I don't have the time to watch their Twitch streams, I like to watch clips that they do. And
Agreed.
some streamers I like watching, they don't Twitch or stream online. They just make it for YouTube, and
Okay.
they edit it enough to where it's like kind of like a play. What is it? How'd you call it? What's it called?
Like a let's play,
Like a let's play, but instead
Yeah.
of that, it's more just like they're playing and they're
like
making jokes. And so
Markiplier does that a
Berleezy,
lot.
shout out
Berleezy,
Berleezy,
shout out Berleezy.
shout
We
out
love
Berleezy. Berleezy, if
here.
you're hearing this, I need you on the pod like yesterday.
Oh
Like
man.
it would be such a fun episode to have.
Yeah, Berleezy is a lot of fun. He's absolutely hilarious. I love watching him play games.
Yeah.
Like I said, Markiplier, Charlie, every now and then, Penguin Z0, or
Yeah.
however he does his thing. I listen to Charlie every day in different capacities.
And then a big one right now, Queso. Like,
Queso,
is huge
get Queso
for
on the
me.
pod.
I mean, Queso will not fly here. That's a little bit of lore about Queso. He's never gonna get on a plane. That's why he didn't get his own streaming award that he won twice in a year.
All right, we'll come to you,
Queso,
Queso.
and he just built out his freaking studio. Queso, we'll come to you.
We will come to you, Queso.
I used to. It's so funny
Yeah.
when I was back home for 6 months. I was going to bed watching Queso, and Queso likes to play a lot of horror games.
Yeah.
And I would fall asleep
Oh my
super
God,
comfy,
he's so funny.
tucked in, 3 a.m. Me, and he'd start screaming because he's playing a game,
Yeah.
like Scrutinize or something, where he's trying to beat it. And my mom would run in and be like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Huh? Oh, it's just Queso."
It's just Queso.
She's like, "Oh my God!" But I guess she told me the other day she put it on because she missed me,
Yeah.
and she said she didn't like watching the scary stuff, but it was nice to know that I would be watching something like that. I was
That's
like, that was
cute.
sweet, you know?
I really like that. I don't watch a lot of streamers, like you said. It's really about the timing of it all. I
Yeah.
never really have the chance. Are you familiar with iShowSpeed?
Yeah.
His early stuff was just absolutely hilarious. And then now lately, he's been on like a journey where he's been all over the world.
Yeah.
He's been in China, he's been to Africa, like he's been in Europe, and everywhere he goes, people are just so excited to see him. And
Mhm.
I'm manifesting by in the next 5 to 10 years, we eventually meet him in some capacity in this level.
Yeah.
But he's gearing up to be one of the biggest streamers out there right now.
And
Like
that's the
he's
thing
growing internationally.
about him is like he's not just a streamer, he's not just an influencer, like he's very unique.
Yeah,
And it's hard to get into like an entertainment world and be so unique.
yeah,
And it's because again the kind of person that he is and the way that he talks
yeah,
to his fans and stuff and the way that he like does his bits but in a way that if it doesn't feel like a scripted thing
yeah.
where it's like yeah, this is me.
And like he definitely could like buy some of the things that are like he they definitely produce his things that are happening. But I know some streamers like hire actors and celebrities just to come onto their stream,
Mhm.
and that's not really my cup of tea. Granted, if it is yours, like go off like what you like. That's what we like doing around here.
Me
Like,
drafting a text to Jake Gyllenhaal right now. Hey, actually, I can't pay you $1 million now. Don't come on this podcast.
hey, Kevin Hart, I know we said we were gonna have you on episode 5 of the pod, but I'm really sorry. I just doubled down on it.
Sorry, Timothy Chalamet, the guy that actually played board games with me that I
Oh,
met at a club in Brooklyn. Sorry, I know that you were hoping to talk about Marty Supreme with us, but can't do it anymore. Brian doesn't like it.
yeah, Timothy, we gotta cancel the Fortnite stream. We gotta...
I would so play Fortnite with Timmy. Like I know him. I do because I met him.
We call him Timmy.
Call him Timmy. Shout out Timmy. I get what you're saying, then. I,
I don't like. I really like when streamers feel authentic because
Yeah.
they just feel like humans.
yeah.
I think it's really cool, and that's why I think I like iShowSpeed the most.
Mhm.
Because I got into early clips of him where he was just like raging out, or he did a backflip and landed on his PC and his monitor,
I remember that.
and
yeah.
everything falls apart. Or one of his people watching in chat looped his video of him sleeping into the video. Like it's something where you could do on stream where you
Yeah.
just pay to put something on
Sure.
screen, and they did the stream. So it was an endless loop, and it was just getting louder and louder and louder. And then Speed woke up and he went, "What's going on?" And then it went, "What's going on?" And then it kept saying that over and over again. And every time he reacted more, and
He
you,
would
if
keep
you know
going.
Speed, he
Mhm.
kept going, and to the point where he was screaming, and then the audio was getting so nuts. And so that's the thing, like he was just so chaotic, and it's just so funny. I love watching everything he does, so
Sure.
I'm excited for his journey. But yeah, mostly when it comes to streaming, I think I'm only really into like a few people. Not that the like it's just really not my area, but it's something that I'm getting into more.
Right. Yeah, and I think also getting to YouTube in general, I have always wanted to deep dive into it, but I'm scared of the YouTube black hole that I know exists.
Well,
And I
yeah.
know that's kind of why I stayed away from it for so long because I feel like I have the personality to just sit there and watch it for hours.
Hmm.
So I'm like watching here and there, and I always like when my friends send me clips of things they're watching
Yeah.
so that I can get an idea of it. But I'm just like, unfortunately, I'm just watching so much of it that I don't have any favorite YouTubers or anything like names that come to mind unless I've seen a lot of their videos. Like
Yeah.
a video game YouTuber I love so much is Donkey.
Sure.
I love Donkey. Donkey does video game content in a way that I really like.
Yeah.
He's really funny and creative in his own like video posting. But besides that, because I've seen so many of it,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's so many film channels I've seen or any of the other stuff I'm telling you that I just don't remember their names because I don't
That's
dive
fair.
so hard.
Yeah. Do you mind if I run through some of mine that I just like?
I
you know?
mind. So next category.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Now we're getting to
Yeah,
books.
yeah,
But no. So like we talked about Smosh. They're just absolutely hilarious. Everything they're doing now, they've been on the up and up for the last 2 years since Anthony came back. And just seeing that cast grow. I follow them all on socials now just because they seem like great people too. And I try not to be so involved in like celebrities' lives because you never know who celebrities are when they're not on a press junket
Yeah.
or things like that. But these people really do just feel like people that can be your friends, and I try not to have that parasocial relationship with them. But how could you not? Smosh is full of really funny and really charismatic people.
Sure.
And then also, Good Mythical Morning. I've been listening to them for 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 years
Oh my
now. I
God, he
can't even.
said 6, 7.
I literally put a pause in between 6 and 7 just so we wouldn't have that, and you just had to
Every
bring it
episode,
back.
Brian brings it back.
Yeah, this guy's chopped.
All right, I'll continue.
All right. And then honestly, like I said, I watch a lot of video essayers. And so some of those are Nerd Soup that I mentioned, Nando V Movies. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Mm-mm.
And then also Cinema Wins, specifically Cinema Wins and not Cinema Sins.
Yeah, I don't
If
like
you
Cinema Sins.
if you're into Cinema Sins, hey, you go off. Like we always say, we just want you to enjoy the media that you like. That being said, I like Cinema Wins because I like talking about media that I like. And I like finding the good in things, even
Yeah.
if it's not my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I like what that they do. They do
Oh,
that.
that's cool. I probably would really like that because I like when you discuss media in a way that's like it might not be for me, but I like this.
Yeah, and then specifically, there is another YouTuber called The Birdman who his entire thing is just watching and reacting to Cinema Sins and then correcting every single sin that he
Oh,
makes.
I would also love to
So
watch
if you
that
don't
because
like Cinema
I
Sins,
don't like Cinema
you would
Sins.
vibe very hard with The Birdman, because sometimes Cinema
Shout out
Sins has a
Birdman.
take that you're just like, that's not true. They explain it later in the movie,
Yeah.
and The Birdman will be like, what you just said literally gets explained later in the movie, and you're like, thank you,
The
Birdman.
reacting of the react, I love that.
But Cinema Wins is like completely on its own. It still borrows the same format of going through a movie, giving the little dings whenever they say something, but it's finding small details or complimenting the actor or complimenting the writing, and it's as an artist, it's something that I appreciate that
Yeah.
they're trying to find the good things to like.
Okay.
And then when it comes to my reactors, people watching the TVs and movies and things that I like, a lot of anime people. Shout out Yo Boy Roshi. The three of them are just absolutely amazing. They get so into whatever they're watching, and I really appreciate that. Because a lot of people, I talked about My Hero Academia being one of my favorite series ever. A lot of people clown on it, and sometimes I watch people react to it and they kind of like scoff at things that happen. But I like watching these guys because they're full grown adults and they're crying to an anime that I love in the same thing that I was also crying to.
Fun fact: Brian came in today and I was watching a My Hero episode because I'm catching up and I was crying.
It
Gets
was
me.
yeah, because that's the thing. Media hits you so hard, and if you are willing and able to shed a tear to media, it did its job.
It's a win.
Yeah. So I have Yo Boy Roshi, Blind Wave, also incredible. Those guys, like I said with Yo Boy Roshi, they care about everything they watch. They're not just watching it to watch it. They sit down and discuss it afterwards, and I think that's really cool. And then finally, new group of guys. I think I discovered them recently in the last like 2 to 3 years, called Bad Medicine. They're all former wrestlers, people that I don't know if they've gone to like the WWE, but they know a lot of WWE people like from their previous life. So these guys just have their own takes, and they just started watching anime recently. So it's
Yeah.
a bunch of 40-year-old men that are just watching anime for the first time,
Genius.
and it's great. They get so invested in it. They loved Attack on Titan. They just finished Full Metal Alchemist recently, and they're like I said, I appreciate people who appreciate the media they're watching,
Yeah.
and they're not just watching it to watch
Like
it.
hate watches.
Yeah, I think, and that's my problem with like CinemaSins. And I mean, I know CinemaSins is a comedy channel, and they're really just doing it for that specific bit, but I would never get enjoyment of watching a streamer like talk trash about something that I appreciated.
Yeah, and that's why that's just not my ballpark. I
Yeah.
don't even think about those because to me they don't exist.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because I know plenty of streamers will watch something or they'll play something and they have gripes with it, and having gripes and having critiques is totally different than just shitting on something.
yeah, that's fair. It's the way that you treat it. And like we said, that's why there are certain people that just stand out more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Something I'm gonna take away from you for a second to talk about YouTube/music/anime
Go into it.
AMV videos.
AMVs.
I love the concept of grabbing like AMV videos and anime is like an anime music video of like a fight scene or really characters getting broken down to a really cool song.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was usually like a Fallout Boy,
Fall Out Boy.
Phoenix with like a One Piece Luffy scene and
Yeah.
Marco. And I think lately now I've been seeing a lot of AMVs for actual normal television.
Oh yeah.
Like you'll see someone will play Mitsuki to Kendall Roy in succession, and like
That's
it's
so
so
funny.
funny because it's niche and it's what we're all thinking.
Yeah.
And so I love kind of like how you like recaps or you like rewatching things. I like watching someone who made a 2 to 3 minute music video of a pop culture or something that they like and
Yeah.
adding a song that they think embodies that character or that mood. I don't
Yeah.
know, it scratches my brain very nice.
It's one of my favorite genres for like TikToks. Like TikTok edits of anime to specific songs, right up my alley. And I
Yeah.
sent you one today, one with All Might. And yeah, they're
Yeah.
just so fun. Because the music captures the emotion of the thing that you're watching or the thing that it's showing for the visuals.
Yeah.
And they just always pair so well together. Like people put a lot of heart into making those.
Yeah, I've seen some really good ones. I would send it to you, but you're not done yet. The Bear. I've
Sure.
seen some really good Bear
I can see
edits,
that.
and it's just like it just hits.
Yeah. Man, listen, we've been talking about music, audio, things like that. One thing that I do want to touch on, audio stories.
Oh yeah.
There's a podcast that I used to listen to way back in the day called the Magnus Archives. And it's a horror story where it's an anthology where every single episode you're dipping into the Magnus Archive, which is supposed to be like a guy or a person reading different stories of things that supposedly happened.
Okay.
And the way it's cinematic in the sense of like when they're talking about this a woman running down the street and it's raining, they'll play the effect of the raining, and it's like old radio shows that
Sure.
they had probably back in like the 20s, 30s and 40s. Like it's somewhat of a lost art that I think is really interesting and I would love to see make a comeback.
Yeah, it's actually funny enough. I've been talking a lot about that concept with a couple of people,
Uh-huh.
like shout out Steven, in the sense of like I love old like kind of like radio TV show things where it's
Yeah.
almost like War of the Worlds, right? Where
Yeah.
you hear something and it makes you feel a certain thing and your imagination's going. It's not a book,
Yeah.
right? It's kind of like the audio of like a podcast, but it's like a story. And
Yeah.
you're getting the voice acting in it, you're getting the sound effects like the rain. If it's a superhero one, you're hearing the punches, the pows, and stuff like that. I would love to hear that, do that, and also make that. That's
Yeah.
actually something I've had in the back burner for a second. It's just
Don't reveal it. Don't reveal it.
oh, I was just gonna say it, but
I don't know. I don't we
we're
don't
putting
know.
it away. We're putting it away.
No, but just know that like Michael has been talking about this thing for a while, where it is an audio story. It involves a character that we all know and love. We're not looking to have it monetized because we can't, but it's special. If
I
you want
mean,
to talk about it, you're more than welcome to.
Certain someone wants to slide me a check, which I can't say.
I don't listen if
take
they
it.
want to.
But no,
We would
yeah.
love
So
to.
no, we'll hold for now. We'll
I just
explain
don't
a
want to
little later.
reveal it. I don't want people.
I'm
to
still
get...
working on it. It's the reason why I don't want to reveal it yet is just because I'm not ready.
Sure, exactly.
When I'm ready, I give because then I would be already working on it, and I wouldn't be like I wouldn't want to tease something and then not be able to follow through with it.
Exactly. And that's the thing. But that's the thing. We're putting it out there now just to say that, hey, if you're interested in audio dramas or audio stories where it's actually scripted and we do sound effects and it's not all live, like it takes a lot of editing and a lot of work, but it sounds really interesting for us. And we want to put out scripted videos and stuff like that eventually in the future. But this is something that is very easy to, or it's easier to do because you don't need the physical space, and it allows for creativity that most people don't do.
Yeah, it's just a fun thing too. Like I said, it's kind of why I like animation so much. You can do a lot of things, but you need a team of animators, and
Yeah.
I don't got that budget. I don't got the money. But also, if we did it in a recording, it's so much easier for us to have a cast of people that we can kind of work around in any setting because the
Yeah.
setting's your imagination, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We could do Foley art, Foley music,
that'd
like,
be
or like, the footsteps and the rain and
yeah, exactly. That'd be so much
yeah,
fun. Kind of like Quiet Place, and all the
yes,
noises that they did themselves in the little soundstage. Like,
yeah,
would love to do that. It just
we
sounds fun.
definitely could. But yeah, is there anything else that you
Um,
think?
no, I think, like I said, this is kind of a great episode for us to talk about a little bit of things that we want to do in the future. Right? We're doing a podcast, so if you listen to this, thank you very much. More
Thank you very
episodes are
much.
coming. Things like this and things that we want to do in the future. Skit comedy, or not just skit comedy, but skits in general. Video content is something we want to create. Probably eventually have a YouTube channel and doing
Yeah.
production stuff. I always joke around streaming. I have a lot of people who keep saying they want to see me play video games. If RAM wasn't so expensive, I'd probably have the PC right now, but I'm taking
Hmm.
it slow. But hey, if you want to see me stream, watch me play some games, watch Brian play some horror games,
Oh.
because he won't like it. Or he will like it, but he just won't be ready, and it'll be funny to react to. Let us know if there's anything else that maybe we missed that you're interested in us talking about or looking at or doing.
Yeah, also, folks, we talked a lot about our favorites when it came to podcast, music, artists. Please let us know in the comments on all of our socials and anything wherever you're listening to this. Let us know your favorite artist. Let us know your favorite song. Do you think there is a best song ever written? Is it Beethoven? Probably. Um, but yeah, thank you very much for listening. Let us know what else you want us to talk about. Like we did for movies, TV, games, we might do a part two where we talk a little bit more in depth. But I think that is it for us today.
Yeah, now I get a sweet treat, which I know I haven't mentioned, but I am gonna say it. Every episode we get to record, I get to play an episode of Dispatch, and
Uh
Brian
huh.
gets to watch me play. Yeah, maybe we have the mic set up recording it. I don't know. Maybe we do, maybe we don't.
Folks,
You,
speaking of audio stuff, yeah, if you like us talking and yapping and you have heard and played the game Dispatch, kind of crazy that we didn't mention it during our gaming episode, but we do leave our mics on and we play the game Dispatch. So if you're interested in hearing us yap and play that game, we might throw it up on a Patreon. So let us know if that interests you, because if it does, we would love to put it out there.
or if you're like, hey, I don't want to listen to you play video games, that's also fine, because guess what? I'm still gonna do it.
Yeah, no, we're still going to do it because it's a lot of fun.
But yeah, maybe we'll just release some just for funsies, but just something that we're doing. I thought I would share it with everyone. I don't know
For
why I
sure.
did it before. But yeah, that's pretty much us for today.
Uh huh.
Well, thank you for coasting the Mediaverse with us as always. I'm Michael.
And I'm Brian.
Catch y'all soon.
See you later.